This is a photo of Emilio Hansen and his son Christian, anxiously waiting to hear about the future of Christian's education. They gave up everything to move to Harlem from South Africa in search of a better education. Just moments after this photo was taken, the father-son duo were informed that Christian was not chosen in this year's lottery to go to the best charter school in Harlem, New York. Education is vital to everyone today, as the law does not only require it, but also helps form future generations to be the best that they can be. The public education system has moved further from ensuring the best and highest quality education for students and moved towards a political issue that does not put the students first. Charter schools, however, are another form of free education that does put the students first, avoids the complications of teachers' unions, and also adapts to new forms of learning and teaching as technologies and strategies change. In preparation to discuss the many benefits of charter schools, this video was created after extensive research through scholarly articles and resources on the topic of charter public school education. The route in which parents choose to send their children is rarely an easy decision unless it is made for them. While private schools can provide a great education, they are expensive and many families cannot afford to send one or many of their children to private schools. Public schools are always an option, however, they can be viewed as corrupt and filled with unmotivated teachers. The other option is charter schools, however, they are random in their acceptance to students. Some other issues with charter schools include finding space and support for the schools. First, it is difficult for many of these schools to find areas to build more, especially in these big cities where space is limited. Second, many people are not in support of charter schools because they believe that it is driving public schools away and impeding on public school teachers. While both of these seem like legitimate arguments, there is in fact room for these schools, and charter schools are not driving public schools away. They are only using the room available to the maximum. Looking back on the history of charter schools, the first charter school law was passed in Minnesota in 1991, which created the first legislated charter school in the United States. Since then, these schools have grown to enroll 3 million students across 43 states. In many more impoverished neighborhoods, charter schools show robust positive effects for poor children. This is extremely important as across the country, 58% of Black fourth graders are functionally illiterate. The public education system is a problem, and the charter schools are the solution. Many public schools in poor areas are not maintaining a high level of education. On top of that, due to unions, teachers can teach under their own convenient requirements, and they rarely are punished for breaking the rules. For example, it is prohibited in the teacher union contract to stop in on classes unannounced. Unlike public schools, charter schools allow and even invite principals and the administration to stop in at any point. Therefore, this keeps teachers motivated to continue to engage in serious and productive learning. In order to solve the issue regarding the need for space for charter schools, it must be proven that it is essential for cities to make the space. For example, a report was generated for New York to find space for new schools. This is necessary because New York charter school enrollment is increasing over the years. However, the rate of new charter schools in the city is slowing rapidly. The perfect solution to this issue would be to place charter schools in the underutilized public school buildings, and there are plenty of those in New York. Additionally, many of the statistics regarding the productivity of charter schools and lack of success in public schools are staggering. However, not many people know about them. For example, in low-income areas, charter school students are scoring 19 percentage points above in math and 12 percentage points above in English. In addition, 100% of charter students attending Harlem Success pass their practice exams, while only 58% of students pass in zone schools. Many people who are protesting against charter schools think that charter schools will corrupt public education when they will simply improve the overall education. Therefore, as more charter schools are created and people spread the word of the many benefits of them, citizens will become welcome to the idea of these better charter schools. The biggest argument against charter schools is the price to make these changes. It can be very expensive to access private space for these schools. For example, it could cost up to $62 million in the fiscal year 2019. While this may seem like a lot of money, the administration will include charters in facility planning and funding, and taxpayer money will go to these new and better schools that are taking the place of low-performing public schools. Essentially, there would be very little out-of-pocket money for a much better education. In order to achieve these goals, the New York Charter School Center and their petitions must be supported. They can easily be found and contacted on their website found here. In the bigger picture, another way to support the growth of charter schools is to support the National Charter School Resource Center, and they too can be easily reached through their website found here. If everyone understands the situation and importance of education, these changes can be made. The public must be willing to make this change and therefore raise awareness through meetings, word of mouth, and posters. There will be more schools with a larger chance for everyone to receive the best education for the most successful future. Public schools are simply not cutting it with the low levels of education that students are receiving. Therefore, it is essential that more charter schools be created in low-income areas today.